Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Voris. Just a brief reminder, Church Militant is on the ground in Rome, bringing you every bit of what you need to know about the Synod each day. Our Rome correspondent, Jules Gomez, reviews the day's happenings on Church Militant's Rome Dispatch, hosted here in Detroit by our own Brad Eli. That's every weekday. There's a link here in the Vortex every day for the month of October for their discussion and breakdown of the Synod. So don't miss a single episode of Rome Dispatch. It's kind of a one-stop shopping for you each day on all the news from the Synod, concise and straightforward. Now, war. War in the Middle East. No matter where you fall, even if you don't have an opinion one way or the other on the decades-long Israeli-Palestinian conflict, decades long, there is something larger to consider here. The military-industrial complex, first identified by President Dwight D. Eisenhower as he was leaving office and later termed the swamp by Trump, well, that crowd loves war. They profit from it. But with the commies largely in control of the swamp these days, there's an even further dynamic, far worse than before. When the war used to be about just profit, well, that was bad enough. But now it has taken on an entirely different skew. It's not just about financial profit, but ideological profit as well. In recent decades, the Communist Democrats have allied against Israel. Again, whatever your position is on that question, that's beside the point. They have decided by their reckoning that they can kill two birds with one stone here. The entire commie Democrat machinery, for ideological reasons, has lined up against Israel. The likes of AOC, Tlaib, Omar, and the rest of the socialist squad are the mouthpieces, but they enjoy broad-based support within their party. And that the Dems, among whose strongest support at the polls is from Jewish voters, pose a conundrum for people. Why would they be so popular among Jewish voters, yet be so anti-Israel? Well, here's a possible way to think about that. It's not so much anti-Israel as it is pro-Palestinian, which, for the most part, is Muslim, which means anti-Christian. While Christians don't especially fare well under Muslim rule or Jewish rule, the Jews just bomb them to intimidate Palestinian authorities. It's just collateral damage as far as Israel's concerned. But they also don't have terror groups beheading them and parading their corpses around on social media. The Dems back the largely more extreme Muslim forces of the Middle East precisely because of their hatred for the Christian West. And that is the overlap. That's the point where all these alliances begin to form. And in the case of Israel, well, they're just on the wrong side for the commie Dems. When you toss in the horrible theology of evangelical Protestantism that modern-day Israel is the precursor to the Second Coming, it's not, the atheist commies see a target-rich environment. Remember, Obama, hater of all things American and Western civilization especially, handed the Iranians billions in cash, only to have Trump come along and cut it off. And that doesn't even include his complicit support for ISIS. Remember them? Remember Obama supporting that? Now that commie Biden is in control, the money started flowing again. And geopolitical experts are saying that some large chunk of that money has flowed to Hamas so they could arm and equip for this latest and most devastating attack, as well as future ones. It's interesting to note here that his White House over the weekend posted a "we must refrain from retaliation" message, thinly veiled at Israel. Biden took it down after a lot of criticism. It's funny, he doesn't have that "please refrain" message for Ukraine when Russia attacked them. That's because Russia doesn't play in his and his hunter-friendly Ukraine proxy commie globalism sandbox. So Russia is automatically the bad guy for that reason. And to Biden and his Communist Party, that's the only reason that matters. And the major commie allied media will fall right into line, reporting according to the party talking points. For example, over the weekend, the Canadian Broadcasting Corp, CBC, issued a memo to employees saying, do not refer to the terrorist organization Hamas as a terrorist organization. All the money that flows out of D.C. to allies around the world seems to flow only to allies intent on destroying the Republic and ultimately Western civilization. Talk about follow the money. God love you. I'm Michael Voris.